Another episode of heroic suicide is, of course, Avram and the Kivshan Aish, thrown in by Nimrod and Bereshis Rabbah. You see that here. Basically, Natzach Nimrod on Amar de Nimrod. This is the conversation that he's having with Haran. Kaven Sheyarad Avram le Kivshan Aish, Benitzel Amrin le Demanat Amar Lahon bin Avramana. Anyway, the idea is that this is where the source that Avram was thrown in the Kivshan Aish. One of the most notable episodes of heroic suicide is Shaul HaMelech. So he asked his Nosei Caliph to kill him, and the Malbim explains if it was just going to be that he was going to suffer, then he would have said Tsar Tovim Mimavis. If it was that he was going to get killed and not have Tsar, that would have been fine too. But if he was going to get killed, Vigam Kodim Lachen Yisalalu, Tov Sha'amus below Tsar V'Kalam. That's what the Malbim says. The Kuzari says if Saul killed himself, it wasn't to seek death, but to escape torture and derision. The Shulchan Aruch says that's not considered a case of Me'abid Atzma Ladas, because he was an Anus, Kishal HaMelech. But there are others that interpret the fact that Shaul did not want to be desecrated in front of people, and therefore he gave his life. That was an act of Kiddush Hashem, or an act of self-sacrifice that he just did not want to be shown around in a degradatory way to Israel. So now we're going to get into what is the machlokes here. What is the dilemma that we're dealing with when you're risking one life for another? And I think it's apropos to start with the pasuk Lo Tamar al Damrecha. So Lo Tamar al Damrecha, you should not stand on the blood of another person. Another pasuk, of course, we have the Rapo Yerapeh in Shmos. You have an obligation to heal somebody. Once it was given Bikanchanitan Rishus, the Rofa the Rifus, once you're given Rishus, the Ramban explains, then it becomes a chiv. And then in Devarim it says V'hashevo so lo. So on one hand, you have to go out of your way to help another person because of the pasuk Lo Tamud, Derapo Yerapeh, and Hashevo so lo. There's yet another pasuk that's into this equation as well. But before we do that, let's look at the Baba Kama, how it says Hashava Skufo Minayin Tamalamar V'hashevo so. So if you look at the Rambam on Mishnah Nidarim, he says Chiyuv HaRofe Min HaTorah L'Rafos Chole Yisrael Nechlal BePerush Mashkasuk HaPasuk V'hashevo so lo L'Rafos Eskufo Kisharoeh Osu Mesukam Yachal Hatzil O Begufo O B'Mamono O B'Chachmoso. So clearly, it's not only Lo Tamud Rapo Yerapeh Hashevo so lo, but also also Hashevo so lo. There is also the pasuk in the Torah where it says the two people are fighting, and one of the ladies is trying to save her husband, and she hits him in his genitalia, and it says the katso says kappa lo tachosein lecha. You cut off her hand, and you don't have mercy on her. Seems very extreme. The point is that when it comes to saving another person, you have to shut out Rahmanas. You have to be very strong about saving another person. That's going to be important because that's also codified in halacha as a source that we go out of our way to save somebody. Lo tamod, v'rapo yirapeh, hashevo so lo, v'katzos eskapa. On the flip side, so on one hand, you have to do things to help out your friend, but on the flip side, we'll see at the next talk because we're going to page 5.